What am I gonna do at the future? Will I ever make it work? All these players you're working with are saying the same thing. You started to feel like it wasn't possible. This is Aleksib, also known as Aleksib. We're in Vantaa right now. Basically, grew up in this apartment. I've always been into sports, mostly because of my dad.
Aleksib oli tosi lahjakas liikunnallisesti.
Basically, the only sport I picked up, which I played for a longer time, was football.
Täällä on 3-vuotias Aleksi. Rakas harrastus on toi futis.
For some time in football, I was the captain of our team. Those kind of moments, when you're given a chance, even when you're a small kid, it could shape you. Gaming's been there all my life. The taste of winning always mattered. Got introduced to competitive FPS games later, like 2007-8. Ended up begging my parents for a PC. In the end, I got a good enough PC to run 1.6 and to run Call of Duty 4. And that started my journey in FPS games. I got out of school, I just played games. Spending all this time in front of your computer and knowing that you're gonna be an adult soon, just trying to convince to your parents it didn't match their reality. Later on, after a couple years, I would actually start making these posts on forums. I wanted to look for a team, even lied about my age. Playing versus other people, competing with your friends was the most fun I ever had. And then it took a more serious turn. Could I ever do this professionally? Could I ever do this full time? Getting the chance when I was 17 or 18 pretty much changed my whole life, because now I could focus on this 24/7. It was 2017 when I got my first pro contract. The money I was making was way below even minimum salary. The only thing I could think about at that moment was that I'm finally playing against the big dogs, competing against opponents that you could see across your screen. My passion finally got the fulfillment of making it to the top and making it to the leagues that I always wanted to play in. Finally being there just made me feel so happy about myself and so proud of the journey. My career has been rough in terms of the amount of times I've been benched, whether it's down to relationships with the organization or relationship with the teammates I've had. I've started to realize that everything was meant for a reason, you know, like maybe it was for the greater good of my own career. Only thing that didn't change was the fact that I always kept pushing forwards. I never gave up, but I couldn't have done those decisions or had that motivation in me without the help and support of my family and friends.
Silloin kun asiat menee huonosti, niin tulee vähän kuraa niskaan, ja sitten kun asiat menee hyvin, niin kaikki hypettää ihan valtavasti.
My parents and my girlfriend were always the biggest supporting link. Whenever I have an important day, they're always there for me. So that obviously takes a toll on you if you can't be there for them, but I appreciate them a lot.
Turnauksissa niin on aina niin pienestä kiinni se, että ei voita, mutta sitten kun on voittoja tullut, niin on loistavaa ja todella ylpeitä ollaan hänestä, miten hän...
Kyllähän siinä isä on todella ylpeä sitten kun poika pärjää.
It's beautiful to know that you have this kind of people behind you, and yeah, it brings joy to my heart. When I was a rookie, I always had the dream of winning a major. Everybody's looking at it the same way. I started to realize that I'm sharing the same thing with all these different guys, and I started to think that I've had this dream for 6 or 7 years, that you come to think of it as if you will never reach it. It's too hard to reach because all of these other people are thinking of the same thing. I started to think about it during the tournament in Copenhagen. So during the final round of the major, I still didn't feel this moment of understanding that we're gonna actually win the match and win the trophy until the very last seconds of the game. After making it through the finish line, I just remember that all these thoughts that you have in your head just went out the window. Where I was, who I was, what just happened. And I got onto the table and started spinning my shirt around in circles, and after that I just knew that I had to go to the crowd and find my family, because they were there during this whole time. just knowing that they were there for this moment meant the world to me, and I'm forever grateful of that.